Okay, so how do we solve this square root of sine cosine thing? Well, basically, it's from the notes, it would be right here, but it's got a little more tricks than this one does. So it's kind of right there, kind of like what it's telling. This is the 9.5 solving trig equation notes, and this is number 2, part B. So it's similar to these steps right here, but in the end, it's like these steps. Let me just copy these steps over. It's like those steps, but it's got a little more trickery to it. So let me put down the notes right here so we can look at them and write on them. But it's got a little more trickery than that example does. So what do they basically do on this example? Basically, what happened is they move the cosine over and then divided by the 5 and then divided by the cosine back over, and then this is tangent. Yeah, so that's what we have to do. So let's do that. So step number 1, we're going to subtract the cosine from both sides. It's gonzo there, and we get square root of 10 sine x is minus cosine, and then you divide by the square root of 10, like that, and you get sine x is minus, yeah, it's a little weird having that square root on the bottom. I think it's going to be better to write it like this. See how that's the same thing. So minus 1 over root, because there's really an invisible 1 up top, always, if we want to see it. There's a 1 times cosine does it. Your negative 1 times cosine is the same as negative cosine. No difference there. So negative 1 over root 10 cosine x. Now we have to finish by dividing both sides by cosine. Now, why is that the trick? Well, because that will make this sine over cosine tangent. Remember that old definition, and this is just minus 1 over root 10. Sine over cosine is tangent. That's the trick on this one, and how we make it into one trig function. Sine over cosine is tangent. So now it's a little bit more of a normal kind of problem. Now we can say, okay, so how do we solve tangent of x equals negative 1 over root 10? We go to the unit, or not the unit, it's not going to be on the unit circle. So we have to do the calculator stuff. So that's what I say down here when I say, okay, now see number 3 below. Number 3, we must use our calculator. First thing is we have to make it positive and blah, blah, blah. You can read those steps in number 3. So basically the first thing I'm going to do following those steps is I'm going to change it to be positive 1 over root 10. And then I'm going to hit the inverse tangent button on my calculator. So I'm going to hit, so x will be, so basically, let me show it this way. Then I'm going to take a change to positive. Yeah, let me go a little slower. A change to positive. Let me write this one more time. A change to positive, okay? And then to get rid of the tangent, I do inverse tangent of that side and inverse tangent of that side. You do inverse tangent of both sides. Why? Because that'll get rid of that and get x alone. That is our goal, is to get x alone. So if you do inverse tan on both sides, boom, it's gone and x is alone. Then hit the buttons on your calculator. So inverse tan, you got to go 1 divided by the square root of 10. And that, for me, comes out 0.306. 277. I'll just do like 6 digits. That's plenty. Okay, but that's not the real answer. Remember, because I changed it. I changed it to positive. It wasn't really positive. It's really negative. So then you've got to find the 2 quadrants. Find where our real answers will be. Find the 2 quadrants where tangent is negative, because that was the original question here, right? Tangent was negative. Bring it up here, right? Tangent's negative. So where's that? Well, we do the all students take calculus. all students take KS, which tells us where the various trig functions are positive. So where's tangent negative? Well, not here and not there, because they're all positive in the first quadrant and tangent's positive in the third. So it must be the second and the fourth where we have tangent negative. So second quadrant, and if you look at the formulas on the formulas, your second quadrant tells you to take pi minus your answer, and fourth quadrant, no, I'm sorry, pi minus, and fourth quadrant tells you to take 2 pi minus. Minus what? Minus your answer, minus your point 306,277. And same thing here, 306,277. And so hit the buttons on your calculator. I'll do this one too. Second pi minus answer. I'm getting, so I just did pi minus answer. Use the answer button. That's a nice button to use. Just use second answer if you have it, depending on your calculator. If you have an answer button on your calculator, mine, you have to hit second first. 2.8353 to 4 places, and the other answer is going to be 2 times pi minus 0.306277. I'm getting 5.97699769. So there we go. There's the two answers.